I heard it's like, and especially the professors in this building, they're gonna say, I just don't understand why y'all vote. Like, there's some people that really just don't vote and don't even understand what a Democratic independent and all that stuff is. And then I'm just like, okay, y'all really need to get it together, understand like what it is. But you don't understand where I'm coming from. Like, you just telling me to vote because you're thinking, oh, I'm a Democrat and I need to vote. I'm not saying I'm a Republican either, but I'm not gonna vote because y'all want me to just be in this position to vote.
I feel you. Because people, it's like, our generation, I feel like we're the first generation that's truly thinking for ourselves since the 60s with, like, the civil rights and the hippie movement. It's like we're thinking for ourselves, and I feel like our parents and the older generation, they're, like, a little uneasy about that because they don't know what the future's going to be. Kind of like what Tupac said in, like, an interview when he was younger. It's like they don't want to pass the power on because they're scared about what the new generation is going to do with that power. What are we going to do? Because we're all between 18 and, like, 25. Meaning, like, we're the next lawmakers and the next operators of this, like, empire. So to them, it's like, hold up. All these kids who are starting to realize that this two-party system isn't jack shit. It's like, what are they going to do to, like, what we built up? That's how I see it. And it's like, what Antavia's saying with the whole Democratic, Republican, like, the only issue I find being independent is that sometimes they won't let you vote.
Yeah,
and I think that's wrong. That's wrong.
It doesn't make sense.
That just pretty much says that you have no freedom to be what you want to be. You have to either be Democratic or Republican, and that's messed up.
My thing is, and I've had this debate in high school. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna say my political party because I don't want the debates, but the thing is, I don't agree with either side anymore. That's only because you have radicals in both sides.
Literally. Right. And nobody gets that.
And you can have the Republican side, they can have Candace Owens and the other newer black Republicans speak out, but you still have your idiots in the South who still believe in segregation today, segregation tomorrow, and segregation forever. That's never going to change. And though, I disagree a lot with Candace Owens, I still believe in her movement that people need to read and decide what party they want to belong to with their thoughts and not with any other thoughts that you may have been born with from your parents.
Exactly.
Just telling you how to vote and still being on the Democrat plantation because we want all blacks to vote Democrat, and that's not how it should be.
I got like two answers to that because it's like, yes, number one, yesterday on podcast for the second episode of the homophobia series, and I was interviewing KJ. We were talking about who would you be without influences, without your family, without your church, without your schools? What would you really be? Who's the real Antasia? You know what I mean? Like, what would you really think without these external influences? And you really don't know who you would be because you don't know. So that's like the whole thinking for yourself thing. And number two, it's the whole black Democrat thing. And I know a lot of people don't agree with him, but Umar Johnson made a good point when he said black people made the biggest mistake with President Obama. And he said that we allowed Obama, a black Democrat, to stay in office for 8 years and do nothing for our community. He may have did a little here and there, but overall, he didn't do anything for the community. And Umar Johnson was saying, it's like, now what we've done is prove that all you have to be is black. And then black people will just vote for you. And I feel like the same thing is going with, like, being Democratic. All you have to be is Democratic, and now you have masses of black people who are just going to vote for you just because you're a Democrat. And it makes no sense. It makes no sense. And we might be coming to, I don't want to say this, but maybe in, like, next 2 generations, you might have another big flip. Because, like, at a point in time, it was black people majority Republican, white people majority Democrat, and then it flipped. So it's like it's going to end up flipping again. It just depends on the time and the atmospheres we're in, what we need to be conservative about. Because I'm looking towards the future, and I'm seeing that the black community is starting to, like, conserve again. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and starting to, like, block ourselves off again.
They're awakening.
Yeah.
They're understanding.
Yeah, like, and becoming more conservative. And we're like, hold up, we want to do for ourselves. So I feel like a lot of black people in the future might start voting more Republican, but not this same Republican Party, if that makes sense. It's going to be like a whole new, maybe not even be called Republican Party anymore. But who knows?
And I
don't believe in parties in general.
I wouldn't even say 2 generations.
Yeah.
The movement has already started in 2016.
Most definitely.
The movement is going to continue well after.
Indeed.
Anytime when you see someone as prejudiced as Tommy Lauren hanging out with Candace Owens in a regular get-together, you have people like Silk and Diamond, you have others who are pushing the narrative of Trump, who are pushing the agenda of the Republican Party, but most importantly, you have them just saying the truth. Yeah. Why are so many black people just blindly voting Democrat without actually reading into what the Democrat stands for?
They don't read. And I don't want us to seem like we're bashing the Democratic Party, but
we're just telling the truth.
It's like black people who are listening, please read. And not just like for political reasons, but just read. Learn to read and truly read. Because you can read for school and read for like 2 seconds of comprehension. But read so you have a better understanding of the world. Read so you have a better understanding of your history. Because now you can apply what you've read and that new well of information to your daily life. And I really don't understand why so many people fight against me for trying to like awaken my people through literature. Like literally, I already talked about something in the last podcast, just the whole Haiti situation. I said all they need is education, and they'll realize violence isn't the answer. And they want to come after me saying, you can't just go in there with a book and think they're going to put the guns down. It's like, yo, it's not going to be an overnight process. It never is an overnight process. It's always hard work. So it's annoying to me.
Yeah,
it's very annoying.
I'm pretty sure like a lot of people couldn't even tell you or anyone like why they vote Democrat besides their family. Like they can't even say why Republicans are bad. Like I mean, a lot of people do know like how, you know, they're not always the best, but they can't pinpoint a direct reason as to why they don't vote Republican.
And it's really
they're like, well, Trump was a Republican.
Trump was not always a Republican.
He was a Democrat. He only ran Republican because he said Republicans are gullible. It's a video of him saying that, and y'all still voted for him.
And I think it's more of the person at that time that says they're a Republican, but you still have to read on the person.
Like what they're doing.
Exactly.
Like the person and what
like
they're
Bloomberg,
doing.
for example. Yeah, he seems good now, but what about when he was governor or whatever he was?
Mayor.
And mayor.
Like,
and
boom,
stop and frisk.
I'm going to imply stop and frisk. Like,
it's like, hold on.
Okay. And then his campaign party, when he had the watch party downstairs a few weeks ago, and all his campaign people here were all black people. And the lady, I said, what is he doing for the environment? She was like, Bloomberg has done so much for the environment. He has done it. And he has so many plans. I was just sitting there. What is it? And she was just like, well, he's done a lot. Just look him up. And I'm like, and then they were like, oh my gosh, can we take a picture of you guys right here in front of the Bloomberg poster so we can post it? I was
like, no.
But two things. One thing is, even in Louisiana, now, I'm going to be honest. In the district that I live in, and I'm from Baton Rouge, our congressman is Garrett Graves. Yes, he is a Republican, but he is probably the only congressman in Louisiana who does a lot for the environment of coastal Louisiana.
You got to talk about that, because the South Coast is a forgotten coast. You got East and West, but what about the South Gulf Coast? That gets forgotten.
That's true. But with the latter, who is black, he's going to be on the social side. But have you forgotten how Louisiana economically and environmentally have to sustain and survive?
Yeah, that's true.
And that's one thing. Yes, this individual is black. Yes, he's a Democrat. But sometimes you have to think of the good of your area.
That's true.
And another thing, with our campus. Sometimes they want to just throw students there like we're just pawns in someone's campaign. Like, have you told us what this person is going to do for our communities, our areas, how they're going to improve them, how they're going to fix them? You're not going to tell us any of that, but you want to throw us in the shirt and throw us in the picture.
And that's literally why we had an issue with Cleo Fields, because it's like, initially, we were going after him because, like, our advisor said to, and we're like, yeah, we're going to do it. And then we, like, researched more. It's like, all right, he stole the money, but we can't really figure out anything else to prove, like, why we shouldn't vote for him. But the key thing is that he stole the money. He has a past of not having integrity. Like, he hasn't been around to do anything when his running competition was. And she had been in the community, and she had been doing things. So I feel like what you're saying is, like, y'all want us to just go in your shirts you want us to be in. Let me mansplain for a little bit. Go in the shirts you want us to be in. And it's like, you don't want us to tell us anything. Don't want to update us on anything. Don't want to even show your face here. But you want to parade the students you picked out to tell me who to vote for. Because y'all just think I'm another ignorant fool on campus. But I read. So it's like, what are we going to say?
And the political science conversation that we had. I forgot his last name. The guy, Jason, that came to the political... He even said that. It was this one line that he said. He was like, when we elect board members or stuff like that, everyone on the board doesn't always have to be black here in BR. He said that's how like people are thinking. Like we just have to have everybody. Like we don't want any white people on the board because they're not going to do what's best for us. And he said that's completely wrong. Like you have to see what's better. Like what's going to be good for your area instead of your image, like the image of the board, like oh my gosh, it's a whole black board, they're gonna help us out because they're black. And he said that's not the case. Like you're not looking out for the bettering of Baton Rouge in your area if you're only looking to project your image of being all black people helping out a black city. And I was like, that's so true, because you can't just be like this goes for the people that just don't want white people involved in what they're doing, knowing that one white person could change the whole thing for you and help you out. But
and women.
Exactly, and people don't want to think like that because
maybe it's just the South in general, like the idea. Because I'm not from the South, so it's like to me, it's like white people, black people, Asian people being all in one room isn't weird. But for some reason here, it's like I noticed that black people have not even a fear, but it's like they want to just stay away.
And I feel like they want to accomplish on their own.
Yeah, and they automatically feel that all white people are Trump supporters or all white people are racist, when that's not true.
Because they could honestly help you out.
I know several black people who are Trump supporters.
Like fulfilling your goals. And I don't think they get that. Like, yeah, just because they're white doesn't mean they're bad. They could honestly help you out if you let them, but your pride is kind of in the way. And I don't know. That spoke to me when he said that, because I'm like, there could be so much more going on, not even just here, but anywhere, if people put their pride aside and honestly think, like, oh, maybe race doesn't have to do with anything, you know?
But, no pun intended, nothing to do with this Southern, but it's a Southern black male's mentality. Mm-hmm. They want to control any and everything, don't want anything to tell them, they don't want anyone to tell them any different. It's that plantation mindset. It's that plantation mindset. They're going to control it all without any checks and balances. But when one person want to put more diversity on the board, I should say. Mm-hmm. Not with a different color, but, maybe more females. Yeah. I can think of a great candidate here. Mm-hmm. But they would never do it only because they think it should be a black, mostly male board. Misogynistic and sexist.
True. That's completely right.
And it's crazy because we were actually talking about that yesterday in the homophobia thing. It's like we contrasted misogyny and toxic masculinity, and it came down that it's not even toxic masculinity, it's not even misogyny. It comes down to sexism, and sexist like connotation still, like, for some reason is so intertwined with our being for some reason. And I think, like you said, it's that plantation mindset. It really is, and it's society as well. It's so weird how synonymous this podcast is with yesterday's, because me and KJ were talking about how society has really formed how we think and how men think, and how from slavery times where we had the breaking the black family, and now we're still seeing that ripple effect today. Mm-hmm. And now you're seeing, young black men like myself being raised in a household of only women, raised by their moms and their aunts and sisters, and then you grow up and now you feel like your masculinity is attacked. So now you're trying to compensate. And how you compensate? You be an asshole. And you only want to let men come in. You only want to appoint men. You only want to do this. You only want to do that. And I feel like, what is it you guys think we need to dismantle that? I'd say like almost a disease within the mindset of men in general. Not even just black men. I just say men.
I can't even think of something to dismantle it, because it's not something that just popped into their heads and like the way that they're going on about life. It's something that's been embedded in them, that's like generational, like, just in them. Like, that's true. It's them. They've seen it before when they were growing up. Their parents did it because they seen their, it's like I forgot the word, but it's just like generational. Like, you see it,
Domino
you do it.
effect almost.
Yeah, domino effect. You see your parents do it, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna teach my kid to do it. Oh, I see my parents do it, I'm gonna teach my kid
It's
to
like
do
religion.
it. Yeah.
It's religion. It really is. It's just religion.